let you go. There's no way. I'm already still burning. So hold me close. Now, baby, I do what I'm told. Still learning to take my chances, to take my time, to keep on dancing, to walk that line. Yeah, you got me shifting the paradigm. No longer wishing. You're my lucky strike. Love the way you ride. Look into my eyes, say you're ready to go. $1 million life, yeah. We could roll the dice. Act like you surprised, but you already know. Oh yeah, got lucky overnight. Jackpot when I got the invite. Let me wrap my arms around you, 'cause I can't go home without you. And my heart just vibe with you, babe. Wanna go sky high with you, babe. Gotta bring you close to tell you that you're my lucky strike. And I got to tell you, if you didn't know, then I got to tell you that you're my lucky strike. And I got to tell you, if you didn't know, then I got to tell you that you're my lucky strike. Cooler than cold, I'm all in. So load up the dice, so heavy. The way that you roll, I'm falling. So I never fall. I'm ready to take my chances, to take my time, to keep on dancing, to walk that line. Yeah, you got me shifting the paradigm. No longer wishing. You're my lucky strike. Yeah. Love the way you ride. Look into my eyes, say you're ready to go. $1 million life, yeah. We could roll the dice, yeah. Act like you surprised.
All right, folks. Well, you're in for a treat when you hear that tune, because it's time for another episode of the Rec Poker Podcast. I couldn't be happier to be here. My name's Jim Reid. I'm Blusterini in the home game, and I've got the best job in the world. I just get to hang out here every week and talk to fantastic folks in the world of poker, me and all my friends. So I got to thank our sponsors, Running Aces, Hotel, Racetrack, and Casino, and website AMP for letting us do all this every week. And I got to thank some of our premium members on whom we really rely. Folks like Stephen Leahy, who's been a premium member for a long time, and folks like Ben Gears, who I was just talking to the other day, who's been pledging his $15 a month for months and months and months. He's one of the OGs over here at Rec Poker. And I'm looking forward to catching up with him at Running Aces for our Rec Poker weekend on June 24th and 25th. So Ben, I hope you can make it out for that. I know it's on your list. And Steve, maybe you can make it out for that one too. It'd be great to connect in person, because connecting in person is kind of what we do over here at the Rec Poker Podcast. If you want to find out about the Wrecking Crew or me, you can go to rec.poker/crew and read all about them. But you can also just listen up, because you're about to meet some of them here tonight.
Well, I'm Chris Jones. You can find me 5B5 on Twitter or 5x5 on the Poker Stars home game.
And I'm John Somsky. I am Poker Geek MN everywhere.
I'm Rob Washam, and I'm Radman50 just about everywhere.
And we've got some fun things to tease for later in the episode. There's a free prize you can win tomorrow. There's some fun prizes coming up. But the biggest prize you're all about to win right now, because we get to sit down with Ian. We've been talking about this for a long time. Ian Simpson, the one and only. We're finally making it happen. Ian, thank you so much for coming on the Rec Poker Podcast.
pleasure to be here. Hello, everyone. How are we all doing?
Well, we're all on the tip of our seats. We've even got some folks in the chat here in YouTube. And if you're listening to this on audio, come watch YouTube for free live every week. And you can enter your questions for our guests like Dark Angel 7091 and Martha. And I think we got a couple other folks in there. So thanks for coming by and saying hello. So Ian, you're calling in from home. I can tell just from looking at you, you're a fan of cats and poker. How am I doing?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't hire you as a detective. I mean, not no, soul reading abilities there. Yeah,
that's true. Good point. Well, this is the Rec Poker Podcast, so I've got room to build. Maybe that's one of the things you can help me with. We are going to talk a bit about some poker strategy and sort of your ascent as a player. But first, so some of our folks that might not know you as well, coming from over on this side of the pond here, talk a little bit about sort of your growth as a player. You used to be with Unibet, now you're with 888. Just at a high level, sort of what's going on with you and what are you enjoying about poker, life in poker right now?
Life in poker right now. Well, I started in 2011 was my first score. Signed with a Unibet 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. And about a month ago onto a new deal. So it's brand new deal with 888 Poker. And things are going great so far. Obviously, it's very early, but having a blast. They've invited me to 2 of their events so far. We went to 888 Live in London at the Vic Casino, and we've been to 888 Live in Barcelona.
Man, that's great. It's such a great city, Barcelona. So you're really living the dream. So back in 2011, you had your first big score. Mm-hmm. What did that feel like a pivot point in your life? And
huge pivot point, yeah.
Yeah. So talk to us a little bit about sort of like leading up to that. What changed? And because I think a lot of our listeners are kind of interested in the journey of how you go from being a serious, thoughtful recreational player to that pivot point where now you're in the game. So like, what was that like?
Well, I was one of the lucky few who got a big score out of nowhere. I was a teacher, played poker recreationally, and the only poker event that really lined up with the teaching holidays was the Irish Poker Open. And the company running that had a last longer promotion. And they said whoever lasts the longest out of everyone who qualifies online gets $100,000 sponsorship. Mm-hmm. And this recreational player from a little town called Cramlington went on a little bit of a sun run and got 4th, which was the longest lasting online qualifier. And they said, here's the $100,000 sponsorship package, but $50,000 of it has to be spent on tournaments, live tournaments. Mm-hmm. And I was a teacher, and I loved my teaching job, and was like, what the? Can I swear? What
you
the
can
heck
swear, yes.
What the heck do I do now? So I said to myself, I'll take a year away from teaching, use this $50,000 to invest in the live events as best I can, and then reassess. And that's what I did. And after a year, it was going okay. The $50,000 had turned into $35,000.
Yes.
So I'd cashed some stuff. I was having a great time traveling and seeing all these places. Like I played EPT London. I went to the PCA. I went to some of the smaller stuff in some sort of out of the way places. Like I went to Latvia, just because. Why the heck not? Go to the Baltics and see a bit of the world that I had no reason to go to previously.
Sure.
But then after a year, I had one buy-in left, and it was the Irish Open again, and I went and won the damn thing.
Oh my god!
Yeah, little bit of run good. Even that's polite for you, says Dark Angel. I'm on my best behavior, right? Yeah. So that was 2012 when I won the thing, haven't looked back since. And then I've been streaming for 5 years now, and I'm about to start a new streaming venture with 888 Poker, hence the hat.
Yeah.
And like I say, very excited to get started with them.
So that's a very cool I mean, I think teachers make good poker players. I've always said this because your communication is important. You know, discipline learning is important. Seeing how other people's minds work. You know, there's a lot of corollary there.
Absolutely.
And so you studied, you applied yourself, you got this great promotion, and then you took advantage of it, right? And then so that first year when you had this promotion and you're going around traveling and playing. Yeah. What were you doing to like make yourself the best player that you could be in that time?
Well, at the time, Twitch didn't exist then. Twitch is a great learning resource now. At the time, it was like articles in like Card Player magazine to get your study material. You know, it was magazines at the casinos. You'd pick it up and watch it. You'd watch TV shows. And get commentary from like, you know, the old legends like Mike Sexton and stuff like that, you know. There wasn't these PO solvers, there weren't these absolute wizards on YouTube giving you free content. You would have conversations at the bar after, you know, setting fire to a bunch of money and be like, oh, this is how I set fire to my money. How did you set fire to your money? Should we compare notes? Oh, we both messed up, did we? Okay. Let's try better next time. So yeah, steep learning curve, and the sort of the secrets of the pros really were more secretive then. And as you get to know people, as you got to know better people, having a beer with them at the bar, you learn things and pick up little tidbits about, you know, this hand's good, this hand's bad, little things like that. Yeah. And then people sort of realize you could make money making content through poker. Like, I mean, you guys are making fantastic content. Thanks, and people on Twitch and people on YouTube and people on all these platforms are making content. And a lot of that content is, tell me how to play this game. You know? Right. Yeah. And so nowadays the information's there. You can just double click on YouTube and find all sorts of stuff. And it's interactive. Like the lovely boys and girls in chat right now can ask us absolutely anything. And you guys are thousands of miles away, and I'm thousands of miles away from you. And I have no idea where all these people are, but they're thousands of miles away too. And we're talking in real time.
Yeah, it's amazing. It truly is.
It's a bit magic, right?
It really is. Magic's the right word. None of us can really explain how it works either.
No, not a clue.
Well, and, it does. And we do have some fun folks in the chat here. I could tell. So I want to thank Woody and Ben and Dark Angel and Joe and Jim and Martha in there. And yeah, please do type any chats you like. I can tell we got a couple of your regular fans in here, Ian. No surprise there. No surprise there. Well, thanks for visiting with us. So I guess one question then, you're in that phase, you're taking it seriously. Now you've made this leap. Can you remember one or two kind of aha moments where you were learning yourself? Yeah. Well, because I think a lot of our listeners, we're serious players, just that we have other full-time jobs. We only have so much time to put into it. So like, what are a couple of those moments where you're just like, oh my God, this changes completely how I think about the game of poker?
Wow. One that springs to mind, because I'm looking at my bookshelf and I can actually see the book, and it's called Poker's 1%. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this book came out before there was any serious solvers like PO Solver and you know, these magical tools that analyze the hands. And Ed Miller, the author of this book, wrote it all down on paper on how to construct your ranges. It was magnificent, and I had to read it 3 times at least, because I got such a headache reading the damn thing, because it's not an easy read, and that's what you want if you want to learn how to play cards. Yes. And it was literally pen and paper. Okay, on the button, I'm raising 50% of the hands. Here's all the hands, all of them. The big blind calls. Okay, he's calling with 80% of hands. Here's all the hands. This is the flop. They check. We want to bet this many times, 80% of the time. We want to check 20% of the time, manually writing down every hand that does all that. And he shows you how to do it step by step. And I was like, wow, that's how to analyze a poker hand. And I probably have a pad of paper somewhere where it's just spools and spools of me scribbling manically, trying to, what do I do with aces? Maybe if I have the ace of clubs, I'll check. And if I have the ace of hearts, I'll bet. And I'll do this, and I'll do that. And then Solvers came out. That book is marvelous. Even though, obviously, the book might be 7 or 8 years old now, I would still highly recommend it as a read, because it's the fundamentals of how ranges are constructed. rather than just, okay, the computer's done it for me. There's a big difference in the learning there. For those of you who are keen on learning how to play the game, you can, get the answer from the back of the maths textbook. Gareth James told me that one. You can get the answer from the back of the maths textbook. You don't learn anything from that,
Right. And that is that's a real trade-off, right? Because going through and crunching the numbers yourself, you get to kind of connect with the fundamentals of the problem very viscerally, but it takes a lot longer, and it's sort of just a little, right? And the opportunity cost is all the other spots that you could look at or something more quickly with a solver or something like that. So
that's indeed very true.
How do you sort of dissolve that tension between the two? Like, do you just start by doing it fundamentally so that you kind of master the tools and then go and look at all these spots with a solver, or how would you advise folks?
Well, I actually watch other people use the solvers. I don't actually run them myself. Gareth James is actually my coach.
He's great. He's a big part of what we do here at Rec Poker too.
Gareth's fantastic.
He's phenomenal.
So I'll be scribbling notes down while Gareth's telling me what the solvers are doing and why they're doing it. And then you've got to go one further and think about, okay, well, I'm in a $20 game. Are they playing to the same standard that the solver is? Should I make any adjustments? And I'll start scribbling notes down from that. So,
yeah, and that's one thing I've heard from a lot of top players saying that they're really good at playing poker, and other people are really good at using solvers. And so you should be letting the people who are really good at using solvers tell us how to get the most out of the solvers, and not try and do that all ourselves. That makes a lot of sense. Chris, did you have something you want to jump in there?
Well, I just kind of extending, Ian, talking about, you've already mentioned multiple ways of learning, and you've talked about book learning. You said it's great to watch Twitch. It's good to learn from solvers, good to learn from coaches. You've been a teacher yourself. What are your favorite ways or current ways where you challenge yourself and continue to learn this game that sort of is infinitely complex?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's easy to get a little bit lazy on the learning front, because my own personal situation was it's going to be streaming 4 times a week coming up, and it was 2 months ago. I've had a bit of a hiatus, streaming 4 days a week, being a father and a husband and a friend and a son the other 3 days a week, and getting the balance, and then trying to find study in there. Not easy. So studying, I don't do as much as I would like to. But one thing that's good about Twitch is that I'm talking through all the decisions I'm making. So I'll be in the middle of a hand. I'll say, okay, I've got king, queen here, and I'm going to just call. I'm not going to 3-bet. I'm going to do that because of this. And often someone on Twitch will say something. And my Twitch is fantastic. My Twitch is absolutely amazing, because you do get some absolute, how do I describe them politely? you get some know-it-alls coming into chat, and they're like, oh, you should do this because of rah, and they're not polite. But my community is just the nicest people, and there's some very good poker players in there, and they know exactly how to, like, politely or comically tell me that I've not done something correctly. They thread the line very, very well. And that's a great learning experience in itself, because if I make a mistake, someone's there to talk to me about it. Someone's like free coaching. But I mean, I'm doing the same. I'm saying I'm playing it this way because of this. So everyone benefits. So,
yeah, and I think there is some of that accountability really helps us, even if it's just like saving ourselves from making foolish errors,
Yes.
Do you find that while you're talking through it, sort of having to explain it to someone else gives you a bit of a I don't know, it's not really an edge, but it like helps you?
It helps. Yeah, definitely, because after the words leave your mouth, you hear them, and then about maybe a minute later you think, wait a minute, is that quite right? Did I approach that incorrectly? The past 2 months I haven't been on Twitch, and I've been playing cards, and I haven't been saying stuff out loud. And there's definitely a difference. I'm not as analytical in it. You play a hand and you forget about it, and you go on to the next hand, because I've got multiple tables open, and I don't know, and you should go back to it, but like I say, it's hard to find time to go back to it, being a dad and a husband and all this other stuff. So
yeah, good point.
Yeah.
So what is it about streaming that that you like so much? How did you get involved, or how did you get started being a serious streamer? Let's start with that.
Yeah, I mean, it was when Unibet contacted me at one of their live events. I was just having a drink in the bar, talking to some of the lovely staff, and they invited me to try it out, and I tried it out, and it was great. It was so much fun. It made the online grind so much different. Like the past 2 months, I haven't been streaming, and I've been playing online, and I haven't really enjoyed it as much. So what I've turned to, I've taken to doing what I'm sure everyone else is doing, or a lot of people are doing when they're playing cards, is loading up someone's stream, someone you know, and being, hi, bit of company, let's chat while we're on our, on our money hunt here, Yeah. I think that's a big part of what Twitch and YouTube and all this content's about. It's a bit of company, which the past few years has been in short supply.
Yes.
So it's been very, very important to have these networks, these little families, these little communities to keep us sane. So yeah, that's when Twitch started for me, and I'm about to start with 888. I'll be going live as soon as me and their graphics wizard have finalized a few things on the overlay. That's the last sticking point.
Oh wow, you're real close.
Yeah. There's just a few little things to gel together, make sure this is pretty, make sure this looks great, and then we'll be off and flying. And I won't be banging my fist on the desk like a entitled pillock anymore. I'll be happy again when I'm playing cards. It'll be magic. It'll be magic.
Well, let's talk about being happy when you're playing cards, because that's what we're all about here. No, because that's the whole point, right? It's a game. Yes, it's supposed to be fun, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
So what are the fun things about poker for you now as a pro? You've seen it all. You've played a lot of hands, obviously. What is exciting and fun for you when it comes to the game of poker?
Exciting fun for the game, like live poker is so much better than online. Like I love online when I'm streaming because I have that company. But online without the company, online with not streaming versus live poker all day. My gosh, is it amazing. I think being deprived of it for a couple of years made the contrast all the more significant. So when I finally got back to having two physical cards in my hands and real people next to me, it was just magic. Yeah, you're sitting down with people from Spain, from England, from France, from Ireland, from this ethnicity, that ethnicity, this religion, this lack of religion. You're sitting down with 8 people, completely unique, except they all have the love for poker, and it's bringing them together, and that's fucking magic. It's amazing. Yes. It's beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah,
I love it. It's true. Yeah. And these people, they've got all these other aspects of their life, these other facets of their lives. But when you have this one thing in common already, I mean, it does make for a really fun social occasion when people are into that mood. I know that's not what everyone puts out at the poker table, but
for sure. Like I've been guilty of it as well. If I'm human, I can be a moody so-and-so. If you catch me with headphones in, I'm in a bad mood. It's the only time I'll put headphones in, because I use music as a resource to fix that stupid bad mood. When I'm playing this fantastic game with wonderful, unique people, and I find myself in a bad mood, it's ridiculous, but it happens. Music helps that. So if you ever see me playing live cards and I have headphones in, just pat me on the shoulder and walk away, and I'll be fine in 5 minutes.
Yes, that's great. That's good advice too, though, because I find like when I'm in a bad mood, sometimes I can't help but even like spread it if people are interacting with me. Like the best thing I can do is just take a walk or put the headphones on or something and just remove myself, because the best thing for me is just to sort of, like you said it, talk to me in 5 minutes and I'll be fine. We call it like the toe stubbing. If you need to take as long as you would take if you had stubbed your toe really badly, and then just be as angry as you want to be for that 2 minutes or whatever, and then just process it and move on. Right?
It's normal to be angry. You stubbed your toe. It's normal. It's human. But it's temporary.
Right. Yes. Beautiful. Oh, nice. I like to use that.
I'm good. So that's great.
We got a couple questions. I love these folks in the chat this week. This is great. Rocketbox Woody knows how to set you up for an easy one here. Ian, when's your next Twitch stream?
When is my next Twitch stream? I can't put a firm date because it's just a that unknown element of just getting the overlay finalized with the graphics guy. That's the last thing that has to be done.
But coming soon. We got to keep them hungry.
Hoping Sunday.
Ooh, that's a good day for it.
It is a good day for it, right? That would be a good comeback day. Yeah, they did have a series on as well, so all the better. So there's a couple of extra spicy tournaments on that Sunday.
There you go.
That would be a good one, but I can't promise because I need the computer doing everything it needs to do.
Oh well, luckily you've got all the computer equipment that you could possibly need, right? From what I understand, even some recent upgrades and everything's going really smoothly over there.
Well, yes, smoothly. But there's two computers in this room. One is completely fried and broken. I made a lot of my more intellectual friends facepalm pretty hard because I hot swapped a component, which is what they call it. I was trying to plug in some new memory, and I plugged it in, and I had the casing off, and I had it all. I had it turned off when I plugged the thing in. And I booted up the computer and I double clicked on the thing and it wasn't showing. I thought, oh, why isn't that showing? Maybe I'll take it out and put it in again. But I didn't power down the computer. So I took the component out and it just went.
It did not like that.
And in my wonderful machine that sits in bits on the other side of the room just said, and I'm like tentatively pressing the power button, hoping.
Oh yeah, I know that feeling.
No chance. It was just dead. And I'm just having a panic because I've just signed with 888. I've said to 888, I've signed on the dotted line. I'm going to stream 4 times a week for you as soon as I can.
Yes.
That's the thing that I need to do that. Oh, and this is on Scoop weekend as well. So like,
it's a
big weekend for poker too. This is Friday just gone.
Oh my God.
I'm going to play.
Well, you're a good sporty, and you teed me up for that one. I couldn't let that work. I'm just getting a new computer myself, so I should just shut up and just sit back and let the karma do its thing. I don't want to get involved in this anymore. All right, Chris, save me.
Well, I just want to kind of return, Ian, you talked about both your experience in 2011 and recently just that experience of being in the live poker world. When you had that opportunity, you wanted to go to like places that Latvia where you hadn't been before, as well as places like. But I'm just curious, over the years now, I know we have in Rec Poker, we have a whole community that's sort of dedicated to the idea of travel adventures, like trying to go play poker in a new spot and maybe bringing some from folks of the community or meeting up there. And I'm just curious, what are some of your favorite places to play?
Favorite places to play? Ooh. With Latvia, it does have a special place in my heart just because I think it was the first flight I went on by myself. And it was the first time as an adult going out into the big bad world, and it was to a country that I didn't know anything about. So that's I can almost my senses can feel Latvia when I talk about it. There's an olfactory sensation there. So that's one of the ones that stands out. The Wynn poker room in Vegas is the nicest poker room. Is it the nicest? It might be the nicest poker room. It's darn nice. It's very, very cozy and comfortable. So the Wynn is up there. Where else do I like? I do like the Vic and the Irish Open, of course, because of all the reasons we talked about. The Irish Open special used to be held in the Burlington Hotel. So that's a very special place for myself. So I think
people talk about the Irish Open like it's this really special place. So I mean that's becoming amazing. A bucket list item, I think, for a lot of us over here. People just keep talking about how much fun it is.
I can't recommend it highly enough, and obviously for you guys who are several thousand miles away, it's a big trip to get, and you're talking, you want to make the most of it. So I would recommend sort of booking some time, not just for the poker, but once you're in Dublin, you're just a stone's throw away from a whole bunch of amazing places in Europe as well. So
that's a good point. And really the cost is just getting over there. And then once you're there, it's actually pretty cheap to travel around there too. And that's really nice of
Right.
you to offer to put us up at your own place.
No, yeah, no problem.
That's just, everyone said you were a very generous guy. This is beautiful. It's wonderful. I can't wait.
Someone might have to sleep on the poker table.
Yeah,
that's get a pillow and a blanket. That's all right.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. Well, I guess so when you are playing live, this is a question that everyone's been asking me lately because WSOP is coming and some folks are going down to take their shot. So when you're obviously a very experienced player, when you're sitting down at the table and you get a sense that someone at the table is maybe not as experienced, what are some of the mistakes that you're expecting them to make? And what are some of the ways that you, as a grizzled veteran, will try and exploit them and make their life more difficult at the table? Just strategically. Obviously, you'll be very kind and respectful.
Typically kind of respectful, but for making money, recreational players, if sort of as a generalization, they don't play enough hands on the button.
Mm-hmm.
They don't 3-bet enough bluff hands, and they don't defend that big blind often enough. And they fold to continuation bets too much.
Mm-hmm.
They also continuation bet themselves too much as well, which makes you check raise bluffing pretty powerful. So I think I fired off about 5 or 6 very quickly.
That's great. That's awesome. All right, perfect.
But obviously there's big differences. This is a generalization. Sometimes you'll get a recreational player like I was in 2011 who played way too many hands and 3-bet bluff way too much.
Right.
So there's it's a whole spectrum of mistakes that can happen, and it's finding the best way to counter each mistake and categorizing which mistakes they're making as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm. And you play a mix of online and live. It sounds like you prefer live for the experience. Where do you think your biggest skill edge is on the field? Is it online or live?
Live for sure. The standard of live poker as well makes a big difference, because like the £1,000 games here in England, the live £1,000 games, they're about as tough as like a $22 game online. It's crazy the skill difference. And it's just people with a lot of money having fun a lot of the time.
Right.
Which sounds crazy, and it sounds intimidating, especially for someone who's online working hard and grinding out $22 games, and then someone says, these £1,000 games are the same skill level as these. You would do great in these games. And they're thinking, I want to play that. $1,000.
Yes.
Like, so few people are bankrolled to play £1,000 game.
Yeah.
Like, realistically.
Yeah.
And there's the live tell skill edge, and I'm sure plenty of people have talked about it before, but Zachary Elwood's book on reading poker tells is fantastically put together. He's got a very analytical mind, and as a former scientist, I really liked the way he logically approached how to get the information from his experiences to the readers. So highly recommend Zach Elwood's book, Reading Poker Tells. And it's not like it's, I don't know, you'll have a big spectrum of people listening here. Some people will be very recreational, some people will be a bit more seasoned. Poker tells aren't like in rounders where the guy eats an Oreo and he's bluffing, or he doesn't eat the Oreo, and you know what I mean? It's the guy's pulse is a bit quicker than it was before. That means he's bluffing. He's probably bluffing a little more often, maybe, but it's different. My pulse might go quick when I'm bluffing. Your pulse might go quick when you have the goods.
Yes,
both might happen, and you've got to correlate one action to the other. Zach Elwood puts it together very, very well, so I'd highly recommend that.
Yeah, and he's a big friend of the show too, and his video series as well is phenomenal. I think if you go to rec.poker/resources, you might even find a discount on those. But we're actually going to do a walkthrough of his whole video series sometime later this year, like one video a week, going through it and just like talking about it in a group, because it is super valuable. That's awesome. Well, I'll give some folks in the chat here a chance to ask some final questions, or if anyone here on the panel wants to get a couple in. I don't want to hog Ian all to myself, but I will. We told them we're taking the 45 minutes. Yeah, Rob?
I have a question.
Jump.
You hear the name Ian Simpson. There's a couple of other guys that are from Ireland that you automatically associate with Ian Simpson. At least I do.
Yeah?
Because the first time I ever heard you was on the chip race.
Of course, yeah.
Now, I know you're not with them anymore, but I'm curious. You said you won the Irish Open, in 2014 or 2012? Yeah. Is that when you met those two characters? Is that when your association started? Because it seems like that be a good time to actually make it happen.
I think we did. I didn't know them that year. I think it was a few years later that we slowly started bumping into each other more often. Like we all go to the Irish Open every year, so you bump into familiar faces and catch people at the bar, and commiserate over a pint. So yeah, it wasn't the year I won that I got to know those two, and then we all signed for my previous company, and we all got pretty close then. So yeah, it was then when we started getting much closer together.
Yeah, those they're friends. They're friends of the show here. I mean, I like to think that everyone that comes on the pod is a friend. You're going to be a friend of the show this time tomorrow, Ian. You're going to be.
They are good guys.
All right. Well, tell me one thing. We look focus on the positive a lot here, but tell me one thing that you think the poker world needs to or should be doing better or should be doing differently. What's one thing in the poker world that we're just not getting right now?
Ebony Kenny said it best. So it's all to do with women in poker, and I don't want to misquote her. Ebony Kenny. This tweet might have been quite a while ago.
No, I remember. Yeah,
you'll remember. Yeah, it was basically a tweet saying all the negative experiences she's had as a female player. And I'm very conscious that I'm a guy who's about to talk about females in poker, which isn't ideal. I'm very conscious of that. But we can talk till the cows go home about how to attract more women into poker. But that's not exactly the approach that should be taken. The approach should be taken would be to stop these negative experiences that women have at the poker tables. Because the terrifying thing is that while Ebony Kenny wrote this thread about her negative experiences, I think every woman player could have wrote the exact same thread, change the names, change the dates. That's what could have been done different. That every woman could, So that's something that's probably the worst thing that's in poker right now, and it's a little bit crazy because, like I said earlier, we sit down at a table with 8 other people, and you've got people from Israel, you've got people from Spain, you've got people who for all different ethnicities and religions, and there's never been a problem with. I've seen very few problems with that, but all women have these really negative experiences. That's the thing that needs to be stamped out of poker.
Yep, that's a great answer, Ian. And I think you really hit on one nuanced point at the beginning there, which is we're all focused on attracting more women to the game, but retaining women who are attracted to the game and come for a good time and take that chance that we're asking them to take, and then we discourage them from sticking around with our negative attitude. I think that's really well put, Chris.
That's always what I think about when I see tweets like Ebony's, is that they're women who are going to stick through those experiences, but how many Ebony's have left the game? How many didn't? Had that one bad experience and then they're just gone. And
they thought, why would I come back to my it's a local card room? They go for a small game, and I'm not coming back to this. Why would you?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, any other questions here for our man Ian, new friend of the show, Ian Simpson?
Ben's got a tricky one. Ben's asked, what drew me to sign to 888 apart from the paycheck?
Yes, good call. What a pro! Checking out the YouTube chat himself. You can tell this guy knows what he's doing. Yeah. So what was it? What was it, Ian?
Well, I'd been to a few of their events, and the team were very friendly, very hardworking, kind people, and you can say the same for Unibet. The big difference is that it's a bigger company, and it's a brand new challenge for me. Like I'd been at Unibet for 5 years, and I've got good friends there, and I've got all the nice things I've ever said about Unibet are still true. The prospect of a new challenge, fresh injection of enthusiasm into my stream, was the main drive for me choosing the move. And I didn't take it lightly. I agonized on the decision for quite a while, but I thought, yeah, it's time for a change, time for new challenges was what drove me to move.
Right on. Well, because you got to enjoy the challenge of these things as well. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
The life EV, the pleasure EV of a lot of this stuff, I think is a real factor. You only live once, right? I mean, let's enjoy it.
For sure. I mean, 888 are a huge company, so the opportunity to work with such a huge company, play such big events is too much to pass up.
Yep, good point. Well, if folks want to follow along or connect with you, is there one place that you prefer folks reach out? Is it social or the website or email or come knock on your door?
Twitch is the place that I'm going to be most active, at Ian Simpson Poker, twitch.tv/Ian Simpson Poker. And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter, also at Ian Simpson Poker as well.
Okay, fantastic. We'll make sure to link to that in the show notes. So I just want to say again, thank you so much for coming, Ian. This was super fun. I feel like we did become friends today, and I can't wait to talk to you again. Well, you'll catch us joining your stream at one point soon, I think, and following along. Wait. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you very much for having me.
Well, all right. Well, John Somsky is going to take us through some home game results. So I know it's getting kind of late over there, Ian. But you'll be hearing from us, my man. Thank you again.
Sounds good. Take care. Bye, everyone.
Oh, that was awesome. I think we got some fun new YouTube followers as well here. I want to learn more about Dark Angel and Ben and Jay Fleming. I'm not sure who those people are. I'm not used to them being in our YouTube channel every week, but I want to see more of them. Click subscribe, gang. That would help us out a lot. Thank you. So, John, what's happening in home game land?
Well, we happened to have a few home games last week.
It's like it happens every week or something around.
I know, every week without fail. So on the 23rd, we had Isma Spike got his or her second day nightly victory for the year.
He wins too much. You're just you've got that name nailed now. It's like it used to be one of my favorite parts of this whole show. Like you tried to Isma.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry. I still have plenty of areas full of incompetence that are going to bring you joy, Chris.
That's probably true.
Yeah. Graphic 16, Roger Shooting. Got his third nightly victory for the year. Marbles Jam, Jefferson Kupferberg got his second nightly victory for the year. Bruce 54. Bruce got his second nightly victory for the year. Now then KB. Doug Barron got his third nightly for the year.
Beauty.
And Hawsey 8 got his third nightly for the year. And then just to keep on the trend, Hawsey 8, that same night, also won the daily mixed practice event.
Whoa, all right.
His first ever daily mixed practice event.
Hawsey 8, way to go, back to back.
Then we have Keck Geek, Marquis Key, that is Keck Geek Senior. Got his second international victory for the year, and Hunter H 1017 Hunter Hawes got his second international victory for the year. I know. Man. I should say 1017 1017. Anything else would have been better, but okay. Then for the LPP Sunday event, Kelly at S 1962.
Oh, Kelly Stork.
Kelly Stork won the LPP event, so she can contact Jim at rec.poker for her free month at Learn Pro Poker.
Actually, I don't think we're going to give Kelly the free month at Learn Pro Poker because she's already too good at poker. And I think it's not fair to the rest of us if Kelly continues to advance as a player. So sorry, Kelly, we're cutting you off. No more instructional videos for you because we would like to also win some poker tournaments every once in a while. Thank you very much. But no, seriously, of course, Kelly, please email me, Jim at rec.poker, and I'll send you that free code so you can get a free month of Learn Pro Poker. You're going to love that.
And I also just want to make a couple of other small announcements. First, if for any reason you've had to change your PokerStars username, I do have the ability now to track aliases. So let me know if you've had to do that. I know there may be some people that need to do it as more areas become ring fenced. Just let me know. And of course, coming up on June 18th is going to be our Heads Up Poker Series at 1 a.m. on Saturday.
1 a.m. So really,
1 p.m. PM. 1 in the afternoon on Saturday. And if you win that, you will earn your spot in next year's Marek Madness.
That's right. That is a super fun one. Yeah, Rob.
1 p.m. Central Time? Is that?
Yes. That is 1 p.m. Central Time.
Yes.
1 p.m. Central Time. Saturday.
I'd miss it by like 2 hours if I.
That's right.
Logged in at 1 p.m. I guess.
Yeah, that's right. In fact, I think it'll be 1. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Because we have the other one. There's so many home games on Saturdays. It's hard to keep them straight.
Yeah. Well, and just remember, because this one is a shootout, there is no late entry. So you have to be sure you sign up before the tournament begins. Because since it's a heads up type of deal, I didn't want people sitting around waiting for a late start for those games. So there's no late entry for that event.
All right, that's June 18th, 1 o'clock Central. Just confirming that for our folks. Come and win a seat in Marek Madness. Okay, now, folks, I know the guest has left, but actually, before our YouTube friends leave, we are going to do a free contest here. So anyone who's watching live on YouTube, if you're interested in winning a copy of Dara O'Carney and Barry Carter's Endgame Poker Strategy, then just type the word contest into the chat in YouTube. And this is what we're going to be doing at the end of every show. We're going to be giving a prize, maybe a book from one of our guests, maybe a free month at Rec Poker, maybe some other cool, fun stuff like that. But it's just one of the perks for coming along and being a YouTube subscriber. So you can type in the chat and get involved in the giveaway here. So I'll give some folks a little time to type the word contest into the chat, and then we'll roll a die and see who the lucky winner is going to be. There are a few contests that we could talk about coming up here. If you are watching this live, it's May 30th. You've got 1 day to become a premium member here at Rec Poker, because on June 1st, if you're a premium member, we are going to draw your name out of a hat. And one of the premium members here is going to win a free entry into World Series of Poker event number 55, the tag team bracelet event. So you got to get yourself to Vegas, but if you're there, the good news is you get to play in a bracelet event for free. The bad news is this guy's your partner. So we might have a lot of fun, but we're probably not going to win the tournament. Okay. But we'll have a good time. Someone's got to win it. It could be us. You never know. So we're going to do that draw live on the air on Thursday this week on Taylor Moss's Twitch stream at twitch.tv/recpoker at 9 p.m. Eastern's 8 Central. So come join us for the draw live. We're going to draw the winner, and then we'll also draw a few alternates just in case someone can't actually make it down there, which I understand does happen from time to time. But that's one of the fun things that we've got coming up. And it's also, I teased it at the top of the show, it's Monday night tonight. Starting tomorrow on May 31st, every week, every Tuesday night, 9 premium Rec Poker members are going to be able to play in a free tournament, the winner of which gets a $50 Amazon gift card. So if you're a premium Rec Poker member, it's the Fun Country online play and hang. Go check out the events calendar. It's on the homepage today. You will find a link in the forums there to come join the game at 9 p.m. Eastern. It's a free game to enter, 9 players. It's a really fun way to play too. You get your camera and your audio set up so you can chat with the other folks as you beat them and take the $50 prize and do whatever you wish with it. That's one of the great things about this. So yeah, come turn nothing into a $50 Amazon gift card and have fun with your friends doing it along the way. Let me see. And I guess we just got to tease the Running Aces weekend. This is Rec Poker weekend at Running Aces. Friday, June 24th, Saturday, June 25th. There's a series of poker tournaments happening, morning tournaments, evening tournaments, knockout tournaments. There's going to be a point series for who makes the final table of each tournament. And then not only will there be the normal tournament payouts as well. We're going to do some bomb pots. There's going to be some prizes for the player of the series. There's going to be a lot of fun going on down there. I'll be there. A lot of the Rec Poker members will be there if they're not already down in Vegas getting ready for the seniors or the tag team themselves. So I'd encourage everyone to come out to Running Aces Hotel, Racetrack, and Casino. There's a Friday morning tournament, a Friday night tournament, a Saturday morning tournament, and we'll also be having some fun social activities around there at the same time. So don't miss out on that. And then, of course, if you are in Vegas for the tag team event, on Monday the 27th, at 10 a.m., we're all going to have a little Rec Poker meetup. If you're in Vegas on Monday the 27th at 10 a.m., come on over. We'll find somewhere near Bally's Grand Ballroom, a coffee house or a pizza spot or something like that. And
or a
get
creperie
together.
Or something, right?
Or a creperie, yes, exactly. You never know. It's the first year it's going to be down there. So I've got Kev Math laying the groundwork, going and looking around, seeing where the right place is going to be. Chris, are you a creperie guy?
Nah, I mean, I just know they've got one of those in the Paris or whatever. So
okay. That makes sense. It would be in the Paris, wouldn't it? So that'll be a lot of fun. So if you're in Vegas on the 27th, come on down and hang out with the Rec Poker crowd. We'll put some more details out on exactly where that'll be as we get closer, but it is coming. All right. So I see we've got a few people that have typed the word contest in. So I'm going to roll a die here and then in the order. So starting with Woody and working down from there, we'll see who the winner is going to be. Let's see. Rolling the die. It is Dark Angel 7091. All right. Dark Angel. So send me an email, my man, jim@rec.poker, and I will make sure that you get the code so you get to enjoy your copy of Dario Carney and Barry Carter's Endgame Poker strategy. And it's a banger. And not only is it a banger, but we are currently reviewing it in our book study that Rob runs here every 2 weeks, chapter by chapter, going through it with our group. So you can catch up on all those videos of previous sessions if you're so inclined. Rob, what are we up to now in that book study? I think is a chapter 3 coming up this week.
Well, yeah. Tomorrow or Wednesday, I should say, this will be actually this podcast will come out audio wise after that. But
right.
On Wednesday, we are going to finish up chapter 3 and probably start diving into chapter 4. So we got about halfway through chapter 3 in our second session. So we'll finish up chapter 3 and then dive right into chapter 4.
Nice.
We're just going as far as we can in approximately an hour each time. So we don't want to, we could sit there all night. We could probably go 3-4 hours if we really felt like it, but we want to try to keep it contained to about an hour. So wherever we end up, we end up. So if somebody wanted to jump in, I would suggest reading through chapter 4 at least. And then you'd be caught up with where we're going to be. And then we'll be discussing, like I say, chapter 3 and 4 on Wednesday. So
right on. And if you do want to catch up, we record the sessions. They're in the Rec Poker video archive. So you can go and check those out. You can look at Rob's notes and slides that he puts together for every session. It's a great way to help yourself learn the subject material in these books, because some of it can be a little hard to take on your own.
Yeah, what's great about it is that everybody that comes has their own aha moments as they go through different chapters or different segments of the book. They come up with something that they're thinking about that you didn't. So it really adds a lot to the learning process to get everybody else's aha moments and things that they pulled out of it, instead of just sitting there by yourself in an armchair reading the book.
Yep.
Now you've got a lot of feedback with a lot of different viewpoints and a lot of different ideas. So it's a great way to learn.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. It makes a big difference, and even just having other people question things that you might not question, that makes a big difference too.
Yep.
So, and folks, you don't have to be a premium member to participate in some of our Rec Poker things. Subscribe to the YouTube channel for free. Keep listening to the podcast. Join our Discord. If you go to rec.poker right now and get a free account, all it takes is an email address and a smile, and it gets you access to the forums, the groups, a lot of our social and community events, a lot of the ways that we connect with each other and share our love of poker with each other. So a lot of that is perfectly free. and fun. So I'd encourage everyone to go and check that out. Chris, we'll talk a little just about the next theme of the month coming up is going to be seabeding in position. That's the theme in June. And so we've got a deep dive that's going to launch in the next couple of days and go out on that, one of our structured learning events. And we're looking at seabeding out of position in July. And then, well, that's as far as we'll get right now. We do have some other exciting topics to come as we go. But Chris is working tirelessly behind the scenes, putting most of our learning content together. So, Chris, first of all, hats off to you for what you've been putting into that and the site. And you're being too modest about it, but it's really impressive what you're doing there. Thank you so much.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to this subject. I think it's something. I mean, Ian mentioned it in the interview, right? That I think recreational players, they understand instinctively that they're supposed to seabed, but they do it often wrong, right? They do it too much or too little or in the wrong spot. And so we're really gonna spend some time talking about how to really evaluate your sense of seabeding, other than you should do it. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it seems like it's always a good idea, but it's this lesson I thought was less about learning when to seabed and more about learning when not to seabed, and what are the factors that should cause you to perhaps take a check line instead or save it for a different street. So I thought that was really, really insightful. All right, well, thank you so much to everyone who was joining us in the YouTube chat. And of course, I got to thank Ian Simpson for being such a fun guest. That was a really good time. The Running Aces Hotel, Racetrack, and Casino and website AMP. And of course, Chris, Rob, and John joining me here on the Wrecking Crew. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do a damn thing of this on my own. So thank you all. And thank you, the listeners. Catch you again next week.